Hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to adjust my camera here because I have two screens and this one was not popping up on the big screen. So I'm going to adjust my camera. Hold 1 second. And all right. Welcome to this. Oh my gosh, that made it worse. Gosh, I'm trying. Yeah. Welcome to the Spiritual Warrior YouTube channel. I have not been here in about a month, but moving forward, I will be coming on here at Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific every Tuesday. We'll be talking about various different topics. There are many videos still on this channel that I journey, as you know. So there are a million ways that you can look at what a dream means. You can look up, you can Google, like if you have a dream, you can Google the symbolism in the dream. You can meditate, you can look up, what it means psychologically. And the thing is with dreams is that dreams are one of the most powerful tools that we have to navigate life. So when you have a meaningful dream or a dream that sticks out or a dream that you wake up and you're like, you can't stop thinking about it, or it gave you anxiety, or it gave you, it scared you in some way, those are very, very important dreams. And, I was just listening to something and they were saying that science has not backed up the fact that, how important dreams are. Here's what I want to say to that. Who cares? Who cares? Like we as humans, we have been trained, we have been programmed to think that if something isn't backed up by science and people can't see it under their microscope, then it's not real or it's not meaningful. And personally, I feel like that's incredibly dangerous thinking. And because the dream state is so powerful, because it's an opportunity for your guides and your subconscious and God to teach you while you're not in a state of ego, or you're not in a state of overthinking. You're relaxed, you're allowing things to come in. I mean, this is why people take plant medicine, because the plant medicine creates the dream state. It creates that state where you're not in your ego, so that the guides and God can come through and teach you there. They're incredibly important. And so this it's not scientific. Who cares? Who cares? We know that the dream is here to teach us. Now, let's talk really quickly about ways in which our dream state can be interrupted. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of the way that I work with people with dreams, and the way to teach you a couple of tools and a couple of tricks, so to speak, to begin to look at your own dreams as a teaching tool. So alcohol, pot, substances of any kind can interrupt your dream state. Melatonin. Some people, I personally, if I take melatonin, I'm a groggy mess and I will not remember my dreams. I personally don't do well with melatonin. I will take valerian root and that seems to be supportive and I will still dream. However, sometimes when I take valerian root, there's something in my system that will interrupt it. So there are things that if you don't go to bed in a clean state of mind and body, there is a chance that you'll be dreaming, but you're not going to remember it. You're not going to remember it. Another thing is, we are now in a culture where we are all sleeping by our phones. My husband and I do put our phone in the next room, but I know sometimes I'll be listening to something, fall asleep with the headphone in my ear, and that's incredibly disruptive to my being. And we're all addicted now because we think we need it for our alarm clock, when there are other devices. The cell phone will interrupt your dream state. The cell phone will manipulate the dream state. And I know that sometimes, even if I've slept with my cell phone accidentally right by my head, I have been attacked energetically in my dreams. So being really clear and clean, especially if you would like to use dreams as a way to teach you to be good with your maintenance around what is in your field. And I'm not saying don't ever drink wine or whatever, but just know that when we put substances in our body, they often disrupts the dream state. People who smoke a lot of pot or take a lot of gummies will often report, that's not my medicine, I don't take it, because it makes me paranoid. But people who do smoke a lot of pot and do a lot of gummies, they report that they don't dream anymore. That there's something about that medicine that they don't remember their dreams. So your maintenance is really, really important. Now let's talk about symbolism. There are a few things like Carl Jung and some other people out there, some psychologists that have brought in like dream analysis that absolutely like felt like it was really supportive. It's like there's like certain things that are universal. For example, usually water, if you dream you're swimming in water, that usually represents the unconscious, or not the unconscious, the subconscious. If you dream about a house, you're usually dreaming about your relationship to yourself. Now, not everything is written in stone in that way, but there are some things like teeth. You dream about teeth. People sometimes dream about teeth falling out or rotten teeth. That could be an insecurity, fear of loss, fear of losing control is another one. So there are some of these things, like if you dream about ants, that you're dreaming about family, you're dreaming about togetherness. And that could totally be true and possible. So there are these like universal dream meanings that you can definitely use that are supportive and helpful. Snakes transformation. But let's talk about how you would break down your own individual dream. And I'm going to give you a very step-by-step process. It's so simple and so easy that you'll be like, oh my gosh. So if you have a dream, let's say you have a dream where I'm going to make one up, that you're riding on a hot air balloon and you're with your uncle in a hot air balloon. And in the hot air balloon, you and your uncle get in a fight. And in the dream, you're arguing or fighting with your uncle, and you end up crashing the hot air balloon. Okay, let's just say that's the dream. The way to break these down, and I had a teacher years ago that was really, really genius. She was so good at dream analysis. Like, she loved it and she was really good at it. So she taught me this process. So all I do is you simply ask, what does a hot balloon represent to me? Well, a hot air balloon represents travel. It represents being able to see the world from an expanded place. It represents adventure. It represents containment, like heights up high in a little basket. Then let's row uncle. What does your uncle represent to you? Well, my uncle represents family. He represents, I'm going to make this up, someone who drinks a lot of alcohol. He represents the alpha male. Then, so far we have adventure, expansion, and being able to see things from a higher state. Then we have uncle, who represents the alpha male. Then arguing. So you're in a fight with your uncle in a hot air balloon. What does that mean? What does it mean to argue with someone? What does that represent to you? Well, that represents that I'm feeling frustrated, that I don't like conflict, that there's something wrong. There's something amiss. I'm not being seen. I'm not being heard. Okay, awesome. Now the hot air balloon crashes. What would that represent to you? Oh, if something crashes, that must mean it feels like I'm out of control, that I'm in trouble, that I'm in a lot of fear. So here we have all those four things symbolically. You got them all assessed out. Hot air balloon, what that represents, the uncle, what that represents, arguing, what that represents to you, and then a crash and what that represents to you. You could put all of that together, whatever dream you have, and piece it together. Okay, interesting. So, I'm wondering if I'm feeling like a little bit out of control these days, and I'm really looking to um, see things from an expanded point of view. And I'm really feeling like I'm at odds with masculine energy these days, and I'm really nervous about the state of the world and where the masculine energy is going. And I'm afraid that everything is going to crash and burn. So let's just say that was your dream. And then you got to all of that. You got to this anxiety around male, female, crash and burn. Where is society going to go? Wanting to see things from an expanded perspective, but also feeling out of control just by simply going through and asking yourself and not Googling, what do these things mean to me? And piecing it together. It's very effective and very powerful. And my invitation to you is to not go Google. Not the first thing that you do is to go and Google, what does XYZ mean in a dream? Instead, take the time to see what it means to you. Now, let's talk really quickly about recurring dreams and nightmares. Recurring dreams are incredibly important. If you are having or have had reoccurring dreams, it is literally your guides, your subconscious knocking on you all the time to pay attention. Do not ignore reoccurring dreams. And often when people actually sit down and look at what the reoccurring dream means to them, they stop. It's like when it happens again and again and again, it is something for you to pay attention to and to not ignore. Nightmares, Nightmares are as uncomfortable as they are the biggest teachers. They are the biggest teachers. Now, I've had nightmares where I have been attacked in my dreams, energetically attacked in my dreams, and been feeling like it was happening in real time, like in the room. And I'm pretty sure that it was happening in real time. Now, if something like that happens where you feel like you're in sort of a lucid dream where it's happening in real time, then you might want to do some work with your energy field and see what's going on. This happens to me a few times a year, and it is a wake up call that I'm too open. I have been sloppy in managing my energy field, and I have something to clear, and they're so uncomfortable. And then with nightmares, as hard as they are, they're your biggest teachers because it's the way that your guides can like wake you up and have you pay attention. And often your relationship to your own shadow is coming through in that type of a dream. In the nightmare type of a dream is your shadow. Like having the guides are working through you to really have you look at your shadow, because not everything is love and light. Not everything is love and light. So definitely, if you have a nightmare, pay attention, do the work to, okay, what did that mean? What does snakes mean to me? What does falling down, getting tossed down a river mean to me? What does it mean to me to lose something? And then, I mean, there's so much. We could do so many lives on this. Maybe we can do a two-parter if people are interested. And then that feeling that you're going to die in your dreams, like that feeling of death. And when I was a little girl, someone told me that if you die in your dreams, you die in real life. I don't think that that's true, because I've died many times in my dreams. And it's like usually an ego death. It doesn't represent like physical death, it represents some other kind of death. A death of the old, a death of what's not working. So dying in your dreams doesn't necessarily mean like you're going to die. And people, I think where people get nervous is like, what if that's a prediction dream, right? What if that's me predicting something's going to happen? And I can't speak to everyone's experience, but those people who are can see the future in that way, or are able to tap into a certain timeline that something may happen or something may come true, their dream may come true. It's very rare, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. My point in sharing that with you is to not go into paranoia and fear, because often they're symbolic and often it's about your relationship to yourself. Almost every dream is about your relationship to yourself. Almost every dream, whatever's in that dream represents you, and it's there to teach you. Now sometimes we do dream about other people, and that comes through, and we're a voyeur and we're looking in. That's definitely happens, but most of the time it's about ourselves and our relationship to ourselves. So pay attention to your dreams, and make sure you have really good maintenance at bedtime, keeping your cell phone outside of the room. It's really important. We're so becoming so dependent on the cell phone, and kids too are as well. My daughter, she has to keep her cell phone downstairs at night, and it definitely disrupts the sleep and invites things in that you don't want to invite in. And just being mindful of what you're putting into your body right before bed, because that can also disrupt the dream state as well. So, woo, we talked about a lot of things. I don't know if we've been sending. We usually send out a text that say, "Hey, I'm going live," and I did not receive my text this morning, so there were not a lot of people on live. So I don't know if that went out, but I will be here at 8 a.m. Pacific every Tuesday, and we go over different topics. And the topics that we choose are things that are going to support you in getting closer to yourself, things that are going to support you in getting closer to your power, things that are going to support you in rocking it out in life. That's what we're here. Spiritual warrior style, power, being able to see truth. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do, and just hit subscribe. It takes literally a millisecond, and it supports me, and it supports the channel, and it supports other people being able to find this as we're in the little baby stages of growing. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and I'll see you here next Tuesday.